Exercise 13-6, Treasury stock transactions. So, stock transactions for Careful Driving School Incorporated are as follows. So we're going to issue some stock, and then we're going to purchase some treasury stock, and then have two transactions where we sell treasury stock. We don't need this window right now because the info is also right here. So on March 4th, we issued 27,000 shares of $1 par value common stock at $10 per share. So we're going to get some cash. And the amount of cash is 27,000 shares times $10 per share. So that's 270,000. And we know we have issued some common stock, and it has to be recorded at the par value. Notice the par value is $1. So $1 par value times 27,000 shares gives us $27,000. Why am I crediting it? Because we have issued more equity, and equity increases on the right side. Now notice this does not balance. So to get the balancing amount, we're going to take 270,000, subtract 27,000, and we put the difference on the smaller side to make sure that debits equal credits, and this account is paid in capital in excess of par for the common stock. We need an explanation, issued common stock for cash. Next, May 22nd, purchase 1,300 shares of treasury stock common at $13 per share. So let's start with cash, since cash is easier for most students to understand. So which way is cash going? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Well, we're buying treasury stock, so cash is going to go down. Debits had to be listed first, so I'm going to skip the first line, go to the second line, because cash is going down. So cash goes down by $13 per share times 1,300 shares. Gives us $16,900 credit. So cash is going down by that amount. So we need a debit of the same amount, and that debit is treasury stock for the common shares. Now why is treasury stock being debited? Remember, treasury stock is a contra equity. It lowers equity. So how do we lower equity? On the left side. And we need an explanation. Purchase treasury stock. Now this explanation is lame. It should include extra information like the cost per share and how many shares were purchased. Now September 22nd, we sold 500 shares of common stock at $23 per share. Since we're selling them, we're going to get cashola, cha-ching. So cash is going up, that's why it's the debit. So we take $23 per share times 500 shares, gives us $11,500 cash. Now remember, when we bought the treasury stock, we increased our treasury stock account with a debit. So when we get rid of some treasury stock, we have to lower that account, and you lower a contra equity on the credit side. So treasury stock is going to go down, but here's a trick. Treasury stock has to always be tracked at its cost. So when we lower the when we lower the treasury stock account, we have to use that original $13 price tag. So the way we're going to calculate this is we're going to take 500 shares times the cost per share, which was 13. So 500 shares times 13 gives us $6,500. So treasury stock is going away. 6,500 is being crediting the account. But notice this transaction does not balance. We need a balancing amount. So to calculate that, you take the larger number, 11,500, minus a smaller number, 6,500, and that gives us a $5,000 credit. Now if we added these two credits up, they equal our debits. So the question now becomes, what is this account? Well, this is paid in capital from Treasury stock transactions. And we need an explanation. And the explanation is sold Treasury stock above cost, not at cost or below cost, but above cost. Because remember, we bought it at 13, we sold it at 23. Now that's a huge, if you notice the dates, May 22nd to September 22nd, that's a huge price move in just a few months. But then on October 14th, it looks like the stock price has tanked down to $9 per share. So we sold some more shares, $800, but this time only got $9 per share. So cash is going up since we're selling it, and it's going to be 800 shares times the $9 per share gives us $7,200. Now, which way does this Treasury stock account go? Well, remember here, up here where we bought it, we debited it. So again, to make this account go away or to go down, since we sold some Treasury stock, we're going to have to credit it. So Treasury stock is going to be credited. I'm going to skip a line and you'll see why in just a minute. So remember, when we're making the Treasury stock account go up or down with a debit or credit, we have to use the original price. So the original price was 13. So this credit here is going to be $13, the original cost, times the 800 shares. And that gives us $10,400. So now notice this transaction does not balance. We have 10,400 on this side, 7,200 on this side, so we have to calculate the difference. Subtract those two, we get 3,200, put it on the smaller side so it now balances. And then the account is paid in capital from Treasury stock transactions. And the comment is sold Treasury stock below cost. Remember, this is our cost up here, $13. We sold it at 9, so it's at below cost. Now, one thing we have to check first, make sure that this paid in capital from Treasury stock transactions account does not have a negative balance. In other words, it does not have a debit balance. Remember, it's because it's paid in capital, it should have a balance on the right side because it's an equity account. So let's double check. We had $5,000 as a credit, and now we have $3,200 as a debit, and so that means it has a credit balance, so we're fine. We don't have to worry about anything. And that's it.